All right, welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast. So, welcome. We are down a man. We lost a guy to a Tecmo Bowl tournament. Not sure if that means he won or he lost, and well, we're gonna have to find a new host because if he lost, he's been sold into some sort of weird trafficking slavery thing.
EA Sports is kidnapping them, even though
Yeah,
they're not the ones who did Tecmo Bowl.
I don't think they did Tecmo Bowl, but they're probably bought. They probably have since tried to buy it,
Yeah,
or they rigged the tournament to kidnap him because they're tired of him bashing them. But hey, it is what it is.
just put
Anyway,
them on your
so
payroll already.
yeah, it's just the two of us today. So we got Justin.
Yeah, they heard that. I think they heard me.
Yeah, they heard you.
Eat
All
my
right.
just eat my jelly beans.
So I was so I get an email like once a day from comicbook.com because
All
I
right.
somehow ended up on that mailing list. I must have entered a contest or something, or
What kind of
like
benefits did you get for having that email one today?
every so often you get struck with an idea for a podcast.
Did they send
Uh,
you anything for like your birthday?
I don't know. I have not got that far yet with being on this email list. I hadn't been on it
Oh,
that long.
relatively new. Okay.
Relatively new, yeah. I mean, every so often, like they'll be like, "Hey, you can enter this contest for like this figure or movie tickets." But what it did happen was that it gave me an idea because it was like top five strange. I don't even remember what comic crossover it was, but it gave me an idea. So we're gonna play a game. I am going to list a comic book character or a character who has been turned into a comic book that had a crossover comic, either a series or an appearance. But I'm also going to give you two fake ones. So
Oh boy.
you're gonna have to tell me which one you think is the real comic that actually happened. The first section is going to be one of the stranger sections because it's all about Godzilla.
Is this Godzilla showing up in other people's or other people showing up in Godzilla's?
Well, we're about to find out. So the first one is Godzilla versus Charles Barkley, Godzilla versus Aaron Judge, or Godzilla versus the Refrigerator Perry. This is an
One of,
actual one of these is an
one of those
actual
is real.
one of these is real, yes.
Man, I want to go with. I want to say the Charles Barkley one is real.
Oh, you are right. That is the right one. One for one so far. All right.
You just picked Perry and Aaron Judge.
Yeah, no, I figured like they must when they wrote the comic, Charles Barkley was one of the bigger NBA people, not just like fame wise, but size wise. So I figured I'd pick just two larger sports athletes.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought that was kind of my thought. Like Judge would be too new, and then I was thinking Perry would have only done in that like what 86, 87 range when the Bears won the Super Bowl
yeah, but he was really famous. I mean, he had a G.I. Joe figure. He made it. Didn't he do the WWE?
or WCW, one of
Yeah, I
those.
mean,
Yeah,
one of the yeah. I mean, he turned that nickname into some real fame for a while. So I mean, I tried to pick some that made more sense.
yeah. That then I was like, yeah, maybe Barkley.
All right. Now we're the title. I tried to put the title in it, so like I will let you know if it's a team up or the title. This one is the title. So is it Godzilla destroys the boys, Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe, or Godzilla destroys the Voltron universe?
Voltron universe.
Oh, you would be wrong. It's the Marvel universe. Godzilla destroyed
I
the
don't
Marvel
think
universe.
I don't think he could destroy the Marvel universe.
I didn't read the comic to find out if he actually succeeded or if it was like many of the other ones we're going to talk about where somebody started the fight and then ended up joining forces to fight somebody else. I don't know. This
Was The
one,
Boys? You thinking like the new show, The Boys? Like,
yeah, well, because it was a comic book series before it was a show.
oh, well, I've never seen the show or the comic book series.
Yeah, I was okay. I mean, I tried to pick things I was pretty sure you would know about. Like this one. Is it Predators versus Godzilla versus Kong? Archie versus Predator versus Archie versus Godzilla versus Kong? Or the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong?
Well, I know Archie and Predator is a thing. What was the first one? So it's a team up?
Well, it's the Predators or Predator. I can't remember what that title was. Versus Godzilla versus Kong. So the three of them fighting each other.
Okay.
Archie versus Godzilla versus Kong. Or the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
I don't think it's Archie. And since they already destroyed Marvel, I don't think they're going after Justice League. So I'm going to go with Predator.
Ah, this one would be the Justice League versus
Dang
Godzilla
it.
versus Kong.
Are they trying to get revenge for Marvel?
Oh, okay. When I also left it at weird comic book crossovers, I left off stuff that made sense. I mean, I think sometimes I'm gonna, verge on things that maybe made sense, but like I left off the amalgam universe where they combined the DC and Marvel universe into one and like made Batman and Wolverine the same comic, like made him the same character. It was like Nighthawk or something like that, or
Okay.
like, but like where they or the Marvel versus DC or Marvel DC versus Marvel. They had a couple crossovers where like Hulk fought Superman. Like that's not weird. Like that makes sense. That's something that probably should happen more often. But I'd love to see the Lego game of it. You know,
Yeah.
or maybe like a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat style, like Marvel versus DC fighting game.
Like Injustice 2 or like that Injustice style game.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so the next series we have is Godzilla is going to be fighting another group of teams. Godzilla versus He-Man. Now, when I'm saying like He-Man or like one character, you have to think that everybody else is involved, not just, they're obviously just, so like He-Man is going to be there, Man at Arms, all those people. Anyway, so Godzilla versus He-Man, Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or Godzilla versus the Looney Tunes.
I'm not good with these ones. I'm going to go, I want to say Power Rangers because I know the Power Rangers fought some kind of Godzilla like creature. So why not just fight Godzilla himself?
You would be correct.
I think I'm like
Would.
50% on this. Game. I could
Uh,
really use a partner if Jeremy would have shown up.
well, I don't know if that would help you or not, but all right. Another Godzilla versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Godzilla versus G.I. Joe, or Godzilla versus the Transformers.
Don't ever remember him fighting the Turtles. Didn't watch a lot of Transformers or G.I. Joe. I'm gonna go with the Transformers.
You would be wrong. It would be the Turtles.
When did he fight the Turtles?
I don't know, but he did. All right. Okay, now we're to the Archie section.
Oh boy.
This one gets super weird because Archie, Jughead, Betty, Veronica, all these people, they're just little teenagers in like Pleasantville or whatever they call their town.
Yeah, they're
Um,
fighting puberty.
yeah, and other high school related things. However, did he fight? Well, I think you've already given the answer to this one away, but did he fight Predator, Alien, the Xenomorphs, or the Terminator?
He fought Predator.
That would be correct. All right, you got that one right.
I have that comic book.
Yes, I seem to remember you buying at least an
So,
I don't
some artwork of it. Yeah.
yeah, the artwork for it. Okay. Did Archie meet the Batman? Did Archie meet the Punisher? Or did Archie meet the Wolverine?
Who did Archie meet? Archie met the Punisher.
Oh, look at you. You're on fire so far with the Archie section. All right. Did Archie fight? So was it Archie versus Jaws, Archie versus Sharktopus, or Archie versus Sharknado?
God. I want to say, I want to say Sharktopus, but I don't think it's Shark. But I'm just gonna go Jaws.
Oh, you would be wrong. It would be Sharknado.
Uh,
Archie fought Sharknado.
I don't think he
Okay.
wins that fight.
I don't think he wins any of these fights.
But I didn't fight the Punisher. He just met him.
All right. This one is a bit of a weird title, so you've got to think on this one.
Okay.
Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica. Mary Kate and Ashley meet Betty and Veronica. Or Patty and Selma meet Betty and Veronica.
Wow. Hmm. I'm gonna give it to the Olsen twins.
You would be wrong. It would be Harley and Ivy.
I was hoping it would have been Patty and Selma.
No, that one would be weird. Not to say that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy meeting up with Betty and Veronica isn't pretty weird in of itself. All right. Did the Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, did they meet Archie? Or was it the Flintstones? Or was it She-Ra? Which of these people met Archie?
Let's go with the Flintstones.
You would be wrong. It would once again be the Turtles.
Where did the Turtles meet all these people?
The Turtles apparently just will whore themselves out to anybody.
I
All
see that.
right.
I have all their toys and a lot of their other stuff.
Apparently
I
you
guess
have
I
not.
never read the comic.
Apparently you've never read the comics. All right. Again, Archie's meeting some people. Did he meet Batman 66, the Munsters, or the Addams Family?
Go with the Addams family.
It would be Batman 66.
Man,
Yeah. Remember, all of these titles happened. You can go. I'm not saying you can go to your comic book store and buy them right now. Some of these might be hard to get. They're probably not valuable, but they're maybe are just out of print and hard to get. But they exist. Archie meets Batman 6 because remember in the last 10 years, maybe 15 years, they did a whole bunch of like Batman 66 comics, like to
yeah.
kind of yeah. Well, apparently Archie was in or did a whole like meet Batman 66. Okay, I'm
I'll have to get this list from you and spend some time on eBay and stuff like that to see if I can find some of these old comics.
okay. I'm going to give you a list of 9 bands.
Okay.
You are going to tell me which 3 Archie interacted with. It was Archie meets somebody, or Archie joins with somebody, or
3 of these 9 bands.
the Beatles, Kiss, AC/DC, the Rolling Stones, the Ramones, Metallica, the B-52s, the Sex Pistols, and REM. 3 of those 9 bands. Who did Archie interact with in some form or fashion in print?
Oh, boy. I already forgot half of them. Uh, Kiss, Metallica, and the Ramones.
2 out of 3, not bad. Kiss and the Ramones, yes. Metallica, no, but he did meet up with the B-52s.
This is a random one to meet up with.
Yes, that is why I thought maybe that'd be a hard one to get a hold of. All right, and for our
The,
last,
the, the Rock Lobster.
yes, the Rock Lobster and Love Shack and many, many other weird songs.
Okay, I could see Archie jamming out to Love Shack at like a school concert.
Yeah. All right, last one in the Archie world. Once again, we're going to have a long title and some very strange matchups, regardless of how you look at it. Is it Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica? Sarah Connor and Hit Girl meet Betty and Veronica? Or Ripley and Buffy meet Betty and Veronica?
I hope it's Sarah Connor. I hope it's that one.
Okay, well, which one do you think it is?
The last one. Is it Buffy?
No,
Buffy Ripley?
it is Red Sonja and Vampirella.
The only one I didn't think it would be. But
Yeah.
Archie's been around for a long time.
Yes, yes. And he met the Betty and Veronica met up with 2 of the most dressed, the least dressed cartoon comic book characters there are in Red Sonja and Vampirella. And apparently, I don't know what happened because I can't imagine that you'd want kids reading a series with those two characters in it. All right. Now we're just into kind of a random mishmash of when I found them, I wrote them down. Did Star Trek, Star Wars, or Battlestar Galactica team up with the X-Men?
Battlestar Galactica?
Star Trek. Star Trek.
I've never seen Star Trek.
All right.
I know a couple Trekkies. Maybe I should try to see if I can get them on here.
All right. Did Sonic the Hedgehog meet Spawn, Hellboy, or Blade in the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book? The one for kids. Did he meet Spawn, Hellboy, or Blade?
Sonic and Spawn.
Yes, you met. You're right. He did meet Spawn. Okay. And now in one of the strangest of the matchups that we have in all of maybe comic book history, maybe you'll disagree with me, but I think it's pretty damn strange. Did Marvel cross over with General Hospital, Young and the Restless, or Guiding Light?
The hell's Guiding Light? What
The
is
one,
that?
Guiding Light is a soap opera.
Oh, these are all soap operas.
Yes, these are all soap operas.
General
Yeah,
Hospital, Young and the Reckless, and not Reckless.
Restless.
I don't know what Guiding Light is, so I'm going to pick that one.
Yeah, you would be correct based off of you just guessing. But hey, you got it right, so good for you.
I know a little bit of the other two. Like I know I've seen them on TV, so I actually knew what they were.
All right.
But
The Punisher got himself into a team up. Was he teaming up with Eminem, Ice-T, or Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg is everywhere. I'm going to go with Ice-T.
You would be wrong. It would be Eminem.
Wow. Punisher,
All right.
Frank Castle and Marshall Mathers getting into trouble.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Punisher had to go to Detroit to stop some sort of crime boss and ended up having to kill some of Eminem's group and then they teamed up to fight the Barracuda. It was a very strange. I didn't read it, but I read a quick synopsis. And
Because you
yeah,
were like, what is this?
yeah. What? How is Eminem in a Punisher con? And because it wasn't like a guy who looked like Eminem, it was straight up Eminem. Like they got his permission to put him in a comic book with Punisher.
He's in a Hitman game too.
Yes.
All right.
Um, did the Green Lantern team up with the James Bond franchise, the Godzilla franchise, or the Planet of the Apes franchise?
I think it was like the Looney Tunes he teamed up with to get the Green Loon turns.
Yes, but those are not one of the. That is not one of the three options I gave you.
What do we got? Bond,
Bond
Godzilla.
and Planet of the Apes.
I'm going to go with Godzilla because you already said Justice League and Godzilla had a crossover. So why not let them team up?
But he teamed up with the parent Planet of the Apes. He went back in time and had to team
Those
up.
movies worth watching.
It depends on your definition of worth watching.
Like, let's not go with the Charleston Heston ones.
I
Let's go with
mean,
the newer ones.
I like the newer ones. I absolutely think they're worth watching. I mean, the Charlton Heston ones are good if you can wrap your head around 1960s, 1970s, guys just wearing a rubber mask and barely attempting to wear costumes. They're cheesy, but they're fun. The new ones that start with James Franco in that first movie and then immediately get away from him are visually just and plot wise, they're actually really good. I enjoy all of them. I've seen all of them at least once. Some of them I've seen multiple times, but
If I were to start with the new ones, I don't. Do they even remotely relate to the old ones, or isn't it just kind of like a reboot?
kinda. I mean, so in the original series, the one that starts with Charlton Heston, they you end up finding out that they went through some sort of wormhole and they went way into the future where apes had taken over and become the dominant species and sort of learn speech and civilization and building and they kind of just they basically took our form. Like humans were they didn't become completely extinct, but we just kind of swapped. The ones that are the modern remakes, where the first one with James Franco on Ford, something happens in the first movie where they talk about a spaceship that goes missing.
All right.
It's never brought back up, but it kind of leads you to the idea that all of these movies is how the world went from complete civilization to where Charlton Heston's group like crash lands after they've went through the wormhole.
Okay.
So it's kind of a reboot prequel, but not like I don't. They've never can like they're 4 or 5 movies in now on the new series, and they've never really brought it back up again. So I don't know if like they're still waiting until they want to get further and further in, or
All right.
But I enjoy them. I think they're good, and like it's the new ones are so like you're just like wow, like they figured out like because it's mocap like Andy Serkis and that stuff, like the Lord of the Rings style, like people acting, but the
Yeah.
special effects are so good, where like you really do believe like they are actual like monkeys and gorillas and apes and orangutans and all the chimpanzees. Like you think like wow, like it's not like so fake, like you're just like it takes you out of it, or it's not. I don't know, like it's just really well done anime, CGI.
All right. Back to the regular scheduled
Okay,
program.
back to the okay. Since you brought up the Looney Tunes, did Batman team up with Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, or Foghorn Leghorn?
Oh man. Damity Sam, Foghorn Leghorn, or
Elmer
Elmer
Fudd.
Fudd.
Yeah.
I would guess Foghorn Leghorn.
You'd be wrong. He teamed up with Elmer Fudd
Why?
because they did a Looney Tunes DC crossover stuff, and that was for whatever reason. And apparently, like people are like, "This one was actually good," and I was like, "Eh, was it? I don't know. I didn't read it."
Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
him of all people?
I don't know. All right. Did Colonel Sanders
All right.
team up with Spider-Man, Punisher, or the Green Lantern?
Kentucky Fried Chicken teamed up. What were they? Punisher?
Punisher, Spider-Man, and Green Lantern. Which one of these
I'm
three?
going to say Spider-Man because he hasn't popped up yet.
No, he teamed up with Green Lantern. Green Lantern apparently will also team up with just about anybody.
What is the premise of the comic book? Because I'm teaming up. It's someone like stealing the 13 herbs and spices.
Probably, and then the Green Lantern had to like help Colonel Sanders, and Colonel Sanders got a power ring, and I don't.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Not
I'm
doing good
going.
at this game.
I'm going to give you 9 comic book characters the Predator fought or teamed up with. You need to give me 4 of them:
Archie.
Wolverine, Punisher, Green Lantern, Moon Knight, Batman, Superman, Black Panther, Deadpool, or Daredevil.
Wolverine. Batman. I could see Deadpool for some reason. Um, let's go Wolverine.
Well, there was 4. You had to give me 4 of them.
That is four.
Oh, you said Wolverine twice.
Wolverine, Batman, Deadpool. That's three. What were my other choices?
Superman, Black Panther, Punisher, Green Lantern, Moon Knight, and Daredevil.
Green Lantern, because that guy just showed up and everything.
You got 2 right. Batman and Wolverine. He also fought Superman and Black Panther, or a Predator fought one of those 4.
Superman and Panther?
Yeah, not at the same time.
I don't know if he could beat either of those two.
I mean, he might have a chance against Black
I don't know
Panther.
if Predator could beat any of those. Maybe.
Predator might have a shot against Black Panther and Batman just because they're human. But
Yeah,
I would say like probably not. But Superman, like, what's he gonna do? Like, shoot at him with his lasers and bat? It's just gonna piss Superman off.
yeah,
And
he's just
then
gonna stand there and be like, all right,
and it doesn't matter how many times he stabs or shoots Wolverine. Wolverine's just gonna keep coming at him. So
yeah. Seems
all
like some
right.
bad choices made. I'm
Did
gonna go
Soup?
pick a fight with this guy. Speaking of that guy,
Speaking of men that probably shouldn't be fighting, did Superman get into a boxing match with Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, or George Foreman?
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, yes, you would be right. I figured that one was kind of a give me because I figured like most people are aware of the Superman versus Muhammad Ali
Yeah,
cover. All right. Did the Power Rangers fight Justice League, the Avengers, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
let's throw the turtles in there because I keep not picking them because you said they get around a lot.
You would be right, but this was also a trick question. It was also the Justice League.
Got them both. Two of the
Yeah,
three.
the Power Rangers have not got around to fighting the Avengers yet, apparently.
Which one did they fight first? Turtles or the Justice League?
I do not have that information because I do not remember.
'Cause I was thinking maybe they started with like Justice League and they're like, well, that didn't go our way. Let's go fight these giant turtles.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Once again, in the realm of why did this crossover happen? Because it would end very badly, regardless of which of these people he fought. Did Superman fight the Terminator, RoboCop, or Megan?
RoboCop.
He fought the Terminator.
Wow. Megan seems too new.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't. Okay. Did Superman team up with He-Man, the Thundercats, or Captain Planet?
Hope it's Captain Planet. I'm picking Captain Planet.
No, he teamed up with He-Man.
I didn't watch He-Man or read He-Man.
All right. And then for the last one, and then because I've got a list here, but I couldn't figure out a way to make it any more fun. But I've got the last one here. Did Superman team up with the Quick Bunny, Captain Crunch, or the Monster Cereals?
Superman with Captain Crunch. Quick. Quick.
Correct, he did. All right. So this one,
I'm putting that retail knowledge to work.
all right. I it just started getting too many, and I was like, man, I'm already at like however many pages of these, so I just wrote this down. The alien slash xenomorph has teamed up or fought Superman and Batman, and then also it was Superman, Batman versus Alien versus Predator. He fought the alien fought Vampirella, Buffy, Judge Dredd, who also had a separate Judge Dredd versus Alien versus Predator. He fought the Green Lantern because apparently Green Lantern is very popular in the DC world and will fight anybody. And then Alien vs Predator just fought the Terminator.
All right.
But yeah, that was just like the weird world of comics. Like I'm guessing that most of those were just like, well, almost all of them were probably one-offs. Like
Yeah.
I think the Muhammad Ali thing happened in continuity because like it was like Superman like agreed to a charity boxing match with Muhammad Ali, so he intentionally depowered himself so that Muhammad Ali can have a shot. But I think most of the rest of it, like, and I think the Eminem Punisher one also maybe happened in continuity, but it was the Black Label or whatever the Marvel Max or Marvel Dark Knight or whatever the Black Label was that Marvel had for a while when they relaunched some more not adult titles but more adult content when like Daredevil, Punisher, Black Panther like they all relaunched with like darker, grittier
Yeah.
like and then eventually they just folded it all into the main continuity because people are like we like this better.
Yeah. It's supposed to be darker.
Right. Um Yeah, and like I said, I left off all the because they were like, "Oh, Superman versus Hulk." Like, yeah, but that's supposed to happen eventually. Like let the comic book people have some fun occasionally. Who is stronger, Superman or Hulk? Like, you know, and I'm guessing whoever wrote the comic is the one that won, got stronger. Or most of the crossovers were like most of like the Superman versus He-Man one was like Superman ends up on Eternia where He-Man is, and like he's fighting He-Man at first until he figures out that like He-Man's really the good guy, and then they team up to fight Skeletor.
Well, he's just misunderstood.
Yeah. That's how most of these crossovers went, where like they fish out of water like, oh, now we gotta fight this guy, and they're like, wait a minute, but you're not really the enemy. You're the enemy.
Yeah. Who's a stranger on this planet? One of them I'm surprised didn't come up was anything with Insane Clown Posse. I could see them showing up in some kind of random comic book.
I never saw them come across the list that I was working on. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Don't they seem like a group that would pop up somewhere? Like
Yes.
pop up
Well,
with Scooby Doo or something?
like and like there was some that I left off because it was like Spider-Man, no, the Avengers meet David Letterman. But like I read the synopsis and it was David Letterman just appeared in like an issue of Avengers.
Oh,
Or like Spider-Man like showed up on Saturday Night Live or like did something like an episode of Spider-Man, not an episode, an issue of Spider-Man had like Saturday Night Live as like a running gag in one of the, and I was like, that's not really like a team up or a mashup. It's like Kevin Smith shows up in backgrounds of comic books occasionally, or that actually reminds me, he's writing a series of Jay and Silent Bob meet like a bunch of different Marvel characters,
that's cool.
you know. So like I didn't I well and I forgot about that one. I guess I should have looked into that because Jay and Silent Bob do have like there was one comic I was reading once. It was one of the Ultimate Line series where it was one of the Ultimate X-Men, and I was like, wait, is that Kevin Smith? And like it never was directly brought up, but clearly whoever wrote it or drew a character that looked exactly like Kevin Smith and put him in the background of a bunch of scenes.
One of the things where you gotta pay attention, see who notices.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I feel like if memory serves, like there was some like I think Andy Sandberg or some Saturday Night Live guys wrote an issue of Spider-Man, so like they put themselves in the background, or like celebrities will show up randomly here or there, or like right that's where the whole Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool joke came from. Is that like they made it like Deadpool made a joke about Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds was like, "I love Deadpool," and they're like, "Now we want to cast you as Ryan, as Deadpool himself."
Good choice.
Or when the Ultimate line, because the Ultimate line of Marvel, when they decided they needed to restart everything from zero, but they didn't want to lose all the 616 continuity, so they kind of wanted to reinvent Spider-Man. When they reinvented Nick Fury, they intentionally made him look like Sam Jackson because they wanted him to be cool. And then Sam Jackson was like, "This is great. Now I got a job." Because when they did the Avengers movies, they went with that nerd version of Nick Fury.
It already looks like me. You might as well give me the job.
Right, not the David Hasselhoff like one.
Yeah. Pretty cool way to do that, though. Like, hey, I already look like this guy.
Right, yeah. Hey, you already cast me in the comic books. You might as well cast me in the movie.
Yeah. Who cares if I can't act? Not saying he can't. That was just an in general statement.
Right.
No
Um,
shot at Sam Jackson.
so are there any are there any strange comic crossovers that you can think of that I didn't bring up or
I
like
didn't read
the
a whole lot. I didn't read a whole lot of comics, so
yeah. I just like the whole Archie series was like why is the Archie fighting the Predator? Like what world would Archie have a chance against Predator?
I need to read that whole thing to find out what's actually happened.
I can't remember. You actually bought the book. I thought you just bought like a panel.
I Yeah, because I got that from whatever artist it was that drew it and signed by him.
Right.
And then I ended up actually buying a hardcover copy of
Oh,
that
okay.
of the run or however many issues was in it.
Yeah, we need to go back to that one of these days.
Yeah, like I think the comic book stuff I have, I've got the Archie and Predator. I have one of the Turtle volumes, which has a bunch of the original comics, and then I think I have the first volume of the Hellblazer, the Constantine stuff,
Okay.
and then I have a couple. Those are in the bookshelf, and then I got a couple just random loose stuff from when I was buying like the new, is it the new 52 DC stuff or
Probably,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it was when they were doing Cyborg and Batman and
Oh yeah, when they
Flash.
tried to relaunch the whole universe.
Yeah, I have a couple episodes of those, issues of those somewhere, but yeah, those are the only three I've got that are like hardcover out in the book stand.
Yeah. I mean, and I left off like when it started getting into like Transformers and the G.I. Joe, like the stuff that like has been like kind of part of like, what you grew up with anyway, like, like I left that stuff off because like that's not weird to me. Like,
Probably a lot of weird things with Scooby Doo crossovers too.
I would think so now that you're saying it, but I don't know how much Scooby-Doo comics actually happened. Surely there
Right.
are. But I know if we talked about the Scooby-Doo cartoon, I mean, he crossed over with Batman, the Harlem Globetrotters.
He's
Um,
done stuff, I think, with WWE, if I
yeah,
think.
yeah. I'm just
Uh,
I'm just
Corn,
Corn. Yeah, they had one. I'm trying to remember who else, just from like the original Gilligan's Island. Yeah, Gilligan's Island had one. The Harlem Globetrotters, Batman 66. I think he's had just regular Batman as well, like some of the DC people.
that'd be interesting. Look through the Scooby Doo
Oh,
deck.
and I intentionally left off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman or Meet Batman because I figured you absolutely knew about that one.
That one I knew.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie too.
right, because they made that movie.
Right.
But I was like, he's a massive Turtle fan. There's no way he didn't hear about that one.
Turtles and Batman, that one I heard about.
Yeah,
The other Turtle ones I didn't. I don't even remember what they were.
yeah.
Like, but
I mean, you'll have to go through the Turtle comic history of like them meeting up with Archie. Did he meet up with Archie, or did I make that one up? Now I don't remember what I made up. Well, they met up with Godzilla, that's for sure.
yeah, that one's weird.
Yeah. There's also this whole
Turtles
weird,
and
like,
Godzilla.
there's this massive comic book collection series of Godzilla who apparently they will just team up with or have fight just about anybody and everybody. So,
Godzilla versus PCR.
hey, if they want to do it, we'll do it. I don't know how we would take down Godzilla. I feel like we'd just be killed immediately, but or we would have to like somehow team up with him and like ride Godzilla like,
We have to somehow operate in mech suits.
right, like, we're working with him, helping him destroy whatever massive city needs to come down.
Yeah, other podcasts.
Oh, take down Podcastopia.
Yeah, he's on our payroll.
All right, yeah. So,
Where do you think Jeremy is? He's designing his mech suit right now to
absolutely. That's all right. So that's why we're going to team up with Godzilla because we created a mech suit. Now, do we each have our own mech suits, or are we each all three of us in one mech suit operating it together like Pacific Rim?
I don't think that would work very well. You would get very frustrated with the two of us.
I mean, I generally get pretty frustrated with the two of you anyway, so what would be any
Yeah,
different?
trying to operate a big suit. The left leg's not moving because Jeremy's, who knows what Jeremy is. Jeremy's playing Madden instead of operating his leg.
Like in EA again. Man, EA is going to be the death of the world.
Yeah, presented by EA.
Is there any if you were in charge of a comic book franchise, any comic book franchise, now you're magically in charge of it and you're writing just a regular run and they're like, "Hey, not only do you get to be in charge of it, we're going to let you team up anybody with this comic book character that we didn't talk about. Like, who would you pick and who would you team them up with?"
I'd want to team Shaq with somebody.
Godzilla?
They're the same size. Yeah, yeah, because we talked about a lot of them though, so it's hard to really go through. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. it'd be cool to see them do something where they're like worst cooks in America, where it's like the superheroes are the cooks, and then you've got like, well, not Anne Burrell anymore, but then you'd have the chefs are trying to teach Wolverine how to make a hollandaise sauce or something from scratch, and him just getting incredibly frustrated.
Yeah, I feel like he would just straight up murder some of these judges, though. Just like, oh, I've had enough.
Yeah, I think
Snicked.
that I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Or put him on like Cutthroat Kitchen and take away his knives, and he's like, haha, just kidding, I got my own.
Yeah, someone comes and takes them from him. You're gonna have to relinquish your knives. I would like to see something with that. Comics in the kitchen.
Okay. Like Guy Fieri teams up with the Avengers.
Yeah, grocery games, and you got like Human Torch and some of those guys, and they have to make like a chilled dish.
The Justice League goes to Flavortown.
Heck, they'll do anything. Green Lantern, because he'll do anything.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't realize like obviously I've always known about Green Lantern. I mean, he was part of the Justice Friends or the Justice Gang, whatever whatever they called themselves. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
that like
at the Hall of Justice.
the whole so I've known about Green Lantern for a long time. I guess I never realized how popular he was like in the world of comics because I never really got into him. Like I mean, I was aware of him like and I've seen, I saw the Ryan Reynolds movie. It wasn't very good. I saw the trailer for the new Lantern series. It does look very good.
I think saying it wasn't very good is being generous.
Yeah, it was a steaming pile of garbage. But which is why Ryan Reynolds has made fun of it repeatedly in the Deadpool franchise because he makes fun of himself for having been in it or done it.
Don't make the suit animated.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, I guess I've just never like when I did buy comics and I was reading them. I never got into Green Lantern. Like I'm into Batman, I'm into like a lot of that stuff. But like well, like even in Marvel, like the space comics, like I only was vaguely aware of who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. Like I knew who they were, but I didn't really know anything about them until the movies came out. Because like for whatever reason, the space comics have never really interested in me, which is crazy because I love Star Wars.
Yeah,
And
Star Trek.
I do like Star Trek. Like I've seen all of the original Star Trek movies and original series, and I've watched most of the Next Generation. I've seen bits and pieces of everything since then, but I have not really like caught up with any of it. But I've seen all the movies, like the newer movies with Chris Pine. Like I like them.
Yeah,
They're pretty good.
I didn't see those. My introduction to space stuff was in Red Dwarf,
Okay. I
the
enjoy
BBC show.
Yeah, I enjoy I haven't seen a lot of it, but what I have seen I did enjoy.
I seen a lot of that before I saw even Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, it's weird. Like I do love space stuff, but for whatever reason, when it comes to like space comics, like I'm just like, I'm good.
really, this is a little out there for me. Pun
Yeah,
intended.
yeah. Star Wars, 100% accept. Setting a comic in space, how dare you?
Yeah, that's where franchises go to die. Oop.
That that is where franchises go to die. We're looking at you, Jason.
Well, not all of them go there to die. There's most of them.
I mean, unless you start there, Alien, Predator. Although I guess Predator didn't really start in space; it started on Earth. But I mean, Predator comes from space, so I still need to watch Badland.
Good.
Well, we're to that section. I did watch Zootopia 2 today.
Okay.
I
How
enjoyed
is it?
it. It's enjoyable. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty good.
I mean, they're never as good as the first one.
Very rarely. I mean, every so often you'll get a Terminator 2, but for the most part, most sequels are not as good as the first one.
Brought up on TOC.
I am caught up on that as well.
That's pretty good. Is there only
We
what two episodes?
2 episodes if you don't include the qualifiers.
I don't.
So been introduced to Ming Tsai and who was the other one?
I can't remember. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Lorena Garcia.
Yeah,
I was very happy that Artie beat Ming, not because I didn't think that Ming deserved. I mean, Ming Tsai clearly deserves to be there. Like he is all kinds of,
and he knew too that he didn't add enough nuts.
right. Yeah. Well, he said as soon as time went off, he was like, "Yep, I didn't." But so I'm happy. And Artie she's a really good follow on Instagram. Like she has some really good stuff. Like she is as a person is a good person. Um, Thoroughly enjoy a lot of what she has to say. So I was very happy for her. Um, you had texted me and said we needed to start inviting anybody who was on Tournament of Champions onto the show, and I'm 100% on board, except for two people. Katsuji, the guy who lost to Lorena Garcia, because he just annoys the piss out of me. He annoyed the piss out of me when he was on Top Chef, because that's where I know a lot of these people, because I've watched all but like one season of Top Chef. Um, and he just annoys me on that show. So like I wouldn't want to have to be like, I hate you. Well, hate's a
Right.
strong word. I strongly dislike you. And
You
then
annoy my soul.
yeah. And then oh geez, why I'm blanking on her name all of a sudden. She drives me up a fucking wall every time I see her though. She's one of the two reporters, not Justin Warner or the other one.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But I couldn't stand her when she was on like the first or second season of Top Chef. Like she was so annoying, and then ever since then, like she just annoys me.
Justin Warner's cool. I like him.
Yes, he said yes to us, but he just kept putting it off, and I just gave up.
So far, everyone who has been eliminated, I've looked up if they have anything on like Twitter because I don't have Instagram. And I've either tweeted at them or if they have an open inbox, I've inboxed them.
Okay, I'm
No
guessing that means
responses.
no responses. Yeah, I did a bunch the first episode. I didn't do any of the second episode, so I guess I need to sit down and do that. Maybe when I'm watching the third episode tomorrow night, I will I'll do that.
I'm like, hey, we are a small podcast, love cooking shows, big fan, tournament of champions.
Well, we've had various different people on. Or, well, I say we. I mean, I've had we've had a director, we've had some musicians, we've had fellow podcasters and comic book enthusiasts. We've had some. We'll call them baseball experts just because I have nothing else to call them.
Were those the British guys?
Oh yeah, the Brit. I had the British. So
Oh,
I had British guys who were also baseball experts, and then I had the game show guys who were also baseball experts. But
yeah.
we've never done the cooking world, which is where hopefully we'll get one of them one of these days. So if you're listening and you happen to know a celebrity chef, and we're using a very broad like quotation marks around the word celebrity, like one appearance on a TV show
Yeah,
is enough.
anyone who has competed on any, even
Right?
if it's nailed it.
Yeah. We would love to have you on to talk to you about the whole process. I would love to know how similar the process from my time on the game show on We Are Family is to like doing a show like Backyard Barbecue Brawl. Because I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, like they keep saying, "Oh, last week," but like they weren't. There's no way they kept them there for 8 weeks. And they didn't do. So it was like
I
two
feel like
weeks,
they just have to cook like back to back to back to back to back to back.
right? I mean, because I know like when we did We Are Family. Now, granted, it wasn't cooking, so there's less cleanup and less setup times and less stress because a lot of us were just standing around. But if you're only doing like an hour challenge, you can knock out 3 or 4 of those in a day.
Yeah,
Now the when you're doing like 6 or 7 hour challenges, you're probably only doing one of those a day. But
right.
you can still knock those out. You can knock a whole season out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you
I
told me.
have you started watching or have you gone through because you don't use do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever watched the Great British Bake Off or the British Bake Off Challenge or
I've heard a lot about it, but I've never watched an episode.
it's I we Jess and I really like it. It's such a different style of cooking competition than the American. But it's like comfort. Like it's fun. It's good. Like they tend to be more good-natured and a lot less backstabby.
All right.
So it's a little easier to watch. But the guy and I've looked it up and I want to say it can't be his real name, but I don't have any proof it's not. One of the judges is Paul Hollywood.
That doesn't sound real, but okay, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah. And then the other one is Prue Leith. Like it's two judges and then, a whole bunch of British people and then the two like one or two hosts are constantly switching out or every couple of years they bring in somebody else. But it's it's a relaxing watch. Like it's not like there's a lot less bickering and backstabbing and that's why like I don't which is why I'm surprised I like Top Chef so much because there is a lot more, bitchiness
Yeah.
where like which is why I don't watch Survivor or Big Brother or stuff like that because I just don't like the yeah, 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 yeah.
Cutthroat Kitchen's got a lot of backstabbiness.
Yes, but that's built into the game. It's what makes that
You
fun.
you know what you're getting into.
Right. Like you're that's intentional. Like that's not that's a feature, not a bug. You know,
Yeah.
you know. But it's if you have time or if you don't have your Berlantiverse to watch anymore because they took it away from you, maybe give the British Bake
Yeah.
Off.
I
And
haven't watched any of that this year because it's not out. I mean, I own Arrow, but I don't want to go through all that and have to
yeah,
load it on Fandango or whatever digital thing I got.
they don't have all of the seasons of the British Bake Off on Netflix. I think they started with like season 8 or season 9. So, or something like, or there, all some of the earlier ones aren't there. I think they've ended up over on the Roku channel. So if you're a completist, you have to go over and watch some of them on the Roku channel.
Right?
But it's fun. It's worth watching. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Good.
Maybe we should go after trying to get some of those people on. Although scheduling out of the country, having done it one time, is difficult. Like
Yeah.
having actually, I've done it more than once because I went on an expat who lives in Japan. I did an episode of his podcast. So figuring out how to record when he was in Japan and I lived in Milwaukee was difficult. And then I did one episode of them with in England, and then they did one, or one of them did one of my the episodes with us. So just getting somebody in California scheduled was difficult enough.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Life goes on. Anyway, did you watch anything this week that we haven't already spoken of?
Wild Card Kitchen, Tournament of Champions, Ugliest House in America. I think that about sums it up.
So I could just record this and record it and play it back again next week, and we'll go from there. All right. I'm pretty sure that was the exact same answer you gave me last week. So,
Yeah. Mm, I think that might be it.
okay.
I'm not watching, I haven't watched any movies. Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay.
No, last week I gave you Sisu too.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Ah,
Let's see. I caught up on a lot of my, caught up on Going Dutch, that Dennis Leary show.
okay.
Dennis Leary, Danny Putty, where it's like military on like a Dutch, U.S. base in Denmark. It's very silly, and I don't know why I'm watching it other than I like Dennis Leary, but it's funny. It amuses me.
All right.
Trying to think. I don't know, with the normal stuff that I've been watching, cooking.
Good, good.
Then I gotta stop playing this Disney Speedstorm game. It takes up so much of my time. I just need to just stop, but I
I
can't.
don't know, I don't know what that is.
It's a racing game. In fact, I'm probably gonna when I finish this, I'm probably gonna go upstairs and play it some more tonight before I go to bed.
I've been doing that with Pokemon Red, the old Game Boy games.
Oh, okay.
They re-released it on Switch.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, hey, it's the originals. I know the ones. So I've been playing a bunch of that. That's probably where all my time is going instead of watching actual things.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I guess if you're Ronald McDonald and you didn't think ahead of time to cross over with Superman or Batman or Archie or any of those guys, remember, stupid never walks alone.
Comic books have been around for almost a century, and in the last 2 decades, we've finally gotten to see many of these characters brought to life in movies and on TV. On the Moving Panels podcast, we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. Join me and my guests as we discuss both the good and the bad from Marvel, DC, and even some of the lesser-known comic book companies. Learn what is and isn't from the comics, as well as our nerdy review of the movie or show. New episodes drop every Monday, and you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. So join us for Moving Panels, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to an 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-host to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.